Yo, it's Sam, and welcome to the channel. This is my tier list of all the stuff I got into 2025 edition. So I've been wanting to make this video for a while, or this type of video for a while, but I got lazy. I got lazy last year, so I couldn't finish it on time, and I was supposed to record it a few days ago as well, and got sick. I only have the opportunity now, so here we are. But yeah, I'm not particularly good with rating things anymore. I kind of stopped. There's a whole entire reason why that happened. So if you see all of these rankings, they're all vibes based most of the time. They're self-explanatory. Just don't take it too seriously, okay? But yeah, that's all. Anyway, without further ado, let's start with the first entry. Wicked. Well, Wicked is interesting. I think it's a little too long. 2 hours is not really that much for a musical, but even then, this felt like it was dragging in a lot of places. I know that it has two acts like any musical, honestly, but I feel like it really just dragged in some parts of the story. There's the Emerald City part, and there's that other stuff that I don't fully remember anymore. But other than that, I really did enjoy the movie though. The performances are amazing. Production is insane. Every set just feels like you could live in it, and that's something that even if it's long, I couldn't help but appreciate. And I'm definitely gonna be watching the sequel very soon. So I think I'm gonna give it a B. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a B. Next is Ender Magnolia. Ender Magnolia is a sequel to Ender Lilies, which is a game I played around 3 years ago. This is, or the first one, Lilies, is probably one of my favorite games, just period. Not because it's amazing, it's because it's one of the very first games I just properly played all the way through. It's not that it's a Metroidvania. I played Hollow Knight, and as you can see, I did play the Silk Song as well. But even then, Lilies is very special to me for the fact that it was just my first, and the atmosphere it had, especially during the time I was playing, it was so perfect, and it could not be done again, at least for me. I don't think I'll be able to move on from that game because of how and when I played it. But yeah, Ender Magnolia is great. I love it's very much just more of the same for Lilies with a few pretty good quality of life changes. The blights, or not really, they're not really called blights anymore. I forgot what they're called, but like your stands, quote unquote, don't really have the limited ammunition anymore, which really sucked back then. It was really difficult to utilize any of the other spirits in the same way you would use melee ones, which were infinite, but you could make do. But in this one, there's so much more like versatile and easier to use compared to the other stuff from the first game. Although I do have one criticism. I don't like how they easily gave you all of the movement options off the bat, because I really enjoy the friction of these kinds of games where, oh, I can't access this spot, or movement is a little jank. Not really jank, but movement is a little more thoughtful because you don't have all of the movement tech immediately into your disposal. Like in Ender Lilies, you only got the dash around the third area, which was a hellish area to go through without the dash. And having that there now, when you get it at the time after you beat the boss, that was really rewarding. In this one, they straight up just give you most of what you need to traverse the entire world, and that's it, which kind of disappoints me. But at the same time, I understand, because I'm pretty sure that was a really big criticism for the first game, even though I don't really mind it. In fact, I prefer that over what they did here. But what can you do? As for story, I think this is a lot. I don't like it more than Lilies because it's a lot more complicated. It feels a lot more I don't know. It's really leaning into more of the fantasy part of the story and not the somber everything is dead apocalyptic thing that I really love the vibe of. I love Dark Souls and stuff. I played Dark Souls 3, so that kind of vibe really resonates with me. So, see, Ender Magnolia is different. I don't hate it. There's, in fact, really good areas in this. I really like the industrial complex part with the song. I forgot the name of the song, but it's one of my favorite songs that uh, Millie has ever done. Millie is also phenomenal in this. This is one of my favorite soundtracks, period. Millie is just always good at that. So there's that. I still prefer Lily's though when it comes to vibe. But the story, just the narrative that they were telling was also compelling. The thing with homunculus not being immortal and them having the opportunity to live mortal lives because of the ending is great. But yeah, I think I'm giving this an S or a change. I'm not really sure, but I'm giving it an S for now. Next is The Devil All the Time. This is a Netflix show. Yeah, I watched this with my dad, and it was really interesting. Um, Looking at this in the perspective of what it was trying to do with a lot of the Christian themes that it was doing, it is fascinating. Tom Holland's character ends up being this weird angel of judgment kind of character who ends up dealing out the judgment to a lot of bad actors in the city that he lives in or town. He eventually takes out the pastor who was a huge pervert and had sexual relations with a lot of young girls in his church. He killed a serial killer, like a really prolific serial killer who was killing a lot of people, and the wife, unfortunately. And then he killed the dirty cop who he was connected to because of his dad, who was very zealot, basically a religious zealot. It was a fascinating movie to watch, and I really enjoyed it, looking at that in that perspective. So yeah, I think I'm giving it an A, which is really odd because I think Wicked is a better movie, but I vibe with Devil All the Time a little more. Okay, next is Yozakura Family. This one I don't really remember much of anymore, but I do remember enjoying it. I know it's not that complex of a shonen story. There's a lot more shonen stories with depth compared to Yozakura Family, but what it does try to do, it aims to do, it does well. And I really appreciate it for that. And honestly, it was really interesting to read through this because you could tell there are so many directions this story would have gone in those three main acts that they did, but they went through a specific thing that the author planned. And I respect it. I like where they went. And I really appreciate the themes of family that they were showing here. And I really fell in love with all of the characters, including, I'm pretty sure his name is Kyoichiro, the really psychopathic older brother. I really enjoy the dynamics of the entire family, in fact. And honestly, I might just reread this. I'm not gonna lie. It's something I've been thinking about for a while now because I really enjoyed reading it at first. So maybe I'll reread it and see what I think of it at some point. So you know what? I'm giving it an A, I think. Is it better than? Yeah, I think it's better than the Devil All the Time. Next is my go. Bang Dream, It's My Go is one of my favorite anime just ever. Period. Now, obviously I give all the credit to Toby who was pushing this show so hard because of Abi Mujika, and I probably wouldn't have watched it if not for him. And this one genuinely changed my life. This is not even a joke. This is one of my favorite anime, period. The way I wouldn't have made my video a video about it if I didn't like it that much. This one has such a strong story. I haven't even watched any of the other Bandori entries, but this one really hooked me. It was a mess, but a beautiful mess. It's just the story and what it was trying to say. It took time, but that was one of the greatest cases of delayed gratification I've ever seen. Those episodes 1 to 9 was straight suffering, but my goodness, episode 10 saved it. It was one of the greatest things ever. I cried. I love the show, and I will continue to talk about it till the end of my days. Honestly, it was so good. It's just so damn good. Changed my life. Please, even if you haven't watched My Go yet, watch the show. If you haven't watched Bandori, rather watch My Go. It's so good. You don't need to know anything about the past entries. Although I do encourage watching it. I will be watching the rest of the entries very soon as well. Next is A Day with Rinko-chan. I think this is the one with the kept man and the young girl who started renting him out because she was alone and was neglected because her parents abandoned. Well, her mother did. It's a really messed up story that ends up, talking about found family and all that. It's really beautiful, honestly, because it's these two people who are broken, finding, a connection between each other that they can, they realize that they can grow as better people and, forgive the stuff that's been done to them. It's really beautiful. I really quite like what it did. I think it's fine. I've seen better stories, but I do believe it's pretty damn good. So I think I'm just gonna give it a decent B. Yeah. Next is Undead Unlock. My God, this manga is the greatest thing I ever see. I cannot stop thinking about this manga so much. I'm not even gonna. It's there. I love this manga so much, man. It's just I don't even know how to describe it. It's everything I ever wanted with a manga is here. Basically, it's not an all time like it is an all timer, but it's not my favorite, obviously. But I haven't read much shonen. Okay, I haven't even read the best of the best. I haven't even read Dragon Ball, One Piece, Naruto, Gintama, all of that. I haven't read much shonen in the past few years because I didn't really get into. I did get into anime because of shonen, but I stayed in this space because of other genres. So I am so happy to have enjoyed a shonen to the point that I would consider it an all-time favorite. And Undead Unluck is worthy of that position. Undead Unluck is so good. Its power system is fascinating. Its world is awesome. The fights are clever, genuinely clever, because they don't always involve violence in the traditional sense or like fisticuffs beat 'em up. It's so good. And the story itself is just this overcoming the greatest odds, the indomitable human spirit, man against destiny, and taking destiny in your hands, fighting God, all of that. It's all of it is there. And one of my favorite things about this manga is the second half. It's 101st loop because there is a time loop in this, and how they don't add more characters to the mix. In fact, they just use the massive ensemble they already have, develop the characters they didn't have the opportunity to in the first half, and just give them everything there. It is so cool. I have never, I mean, I haven't really read that much shonen or any manga. I mean, I've read like at least 500, but still. But this is the first time I've seen a manga do that and do it right. There's gonna be another example here, and it does it way worse. I still like it, but it does it way worse. So please, I know the early chapters of this manga sucks ass, but I am begging you, I implore you, read this manga. It is so good. Watch the anime if you want. Apparently, the winter special goes incredibly hard, and there's gonna be a second season coming out, so spring is gonna be covered. So it's the best arc ever. So please, just read Undead Unlock, I beg you. Everybody who's read it and actually finished it thinks the same. So please. Next is Bang Dream Avimujika. What do I need to what say I need I say more? Avimujika is fascinating as a story because it doesn't really follow as a band girl story anyway, a girl band story. Anyway, it's fascinating because of how it perfectly contrasts My Go as a sequel. My Go is about moving forward, and Avimujika is about staying in place in this middle state, in this trance-like, dreamlike moment, and not waking up. It's a fascinating story about that's genuinely fucked up in many ways. In so many ways, it's very, 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 very horror. I really need to rewatch this because I need to make a video about it. I have to. It's I mean, I made something about my go, so it's only natural I have to make something about Avimujika. And Avimujika is a favorite. I love Saki. Saki is my favorite character. I love Uika, the entire reveal there. A lot of people hate that, and they're all stupid, and I don't agree with them. I just like this. I just like the decisions they made with this story. Although I'm a little iffy with the upcoming third entry for this whole saga, knowing how I genuinely love the ending of this show. They really went hard into the kind of happy bad ending that they were going for, the stagnation that they were aiming for. So having a sequel or another entry continuing the story feels a little off because it's going to, take away from that stagnation that they were trying to aim for. So they're gonna have to face more stuff. They're gonna have to develop, which kind of, I don't know, would that lose the appeal of Avi Mujika? I'm not sure. To me, it sort of does. Not really. I'm still gonna love this band no matter what. But like, man, I'm looking forward to it anyway. Next, Dune Part 1 is a slow burn. It is really long, but it didn't feel long. It did feel slow, but it didn't feel long. It's a weird feeling. It felt paced perfectly, but it was a slow burn, and not much happens in this movie, but it is build up for what comes next, and even then, what it has is still really strong. I haven't really read the original novel. I intend to at some point because it seems pretty good, and honestly, this adaptation is just phenomenal all the way through. The the cast is insane. Timothy Chalamet, this is like my first time really seeing him like act his ass off, and my god, I love him. And he gets even better in the part 2. So, you know what? I'm just going to get there. I'm just going to give this an A. Dune Part 2 is life changing. My god, this is cinema, okay? First of all, I didn't watch it in the cinemas, unfortunately, because I didn't really have time. But I did watch it on a massive TV, and I still think it's fucking cinema. It is so good. This feels like it's like all of the build up for Part 1, just all of the payoff in Part 2. It's so strong. All the way through, nothing wasted. All the way through compelling. And I love Paul Atreides' journey as this reluctant chosen one into fully committing to the bit and going, I am going to become a monster. And it's so cool. I fucking love this movie. Everything about it is great, and I cannot wait for Messiah. Please, if you haven't watched Dune, watch it. You are missing out on one of the greatest cinematic experiences ever. So you can just catch up before Messiah comes out. Please, please, I beg you. Next. What would be next? Oh yeah, it's Back to the Future Part 1. Back to the Future Part 1, I mean, this is the first time I've watched any classic movie like properly this time, and it's genuinely surprised me. I know a lot about time travel. I've seen a lot about time travel, not really a lot of Western. I mean, it's hard to explain. I just know about time travel because of my obsession with sci-fi back then, and also just watching enough and knowing enough from outside sources. But like, this is such a good time travel movie, and I loved it all the way through. This feels like the DNA of a lot of the stuff I've seen back then, and I just really appreciate its existence now. And it's so whimsical and fun and all the way through great. And the fact that the trilogy was filmed pretty much in close succession to each other allows the momentum to keep going, the ages of the characters to keep consistent, because for some reason Hollywood can't do that anymore. So yeah, I'm gonna give that an S. This is my favorite of the trilogy. Actually, I'm not gonna lie to you. Part 2 is great, but I feel like it's the most boring to me. I mean, it takes place in the future, and there's some great jokes and stuff there, but I don't think it's as good as the first one, nor the third one, really. I think it's my least favorite one. It's not bad, but it's not in terms of my vibe. I just don't vibe with it as much, so I'm gonna give it a B. Next is Shoshimin. Shoshimin is another work by the author of Yoka, who I really love Hyoka. I mean, I don't talk about it here because I couldn't and I have time, but I love Hyoka a lot. Repay Value is my favorite channel, one of my favorite anime channels, AniTube channels ever, and they have a whole series in Hyoka. And every time I watch Hyoka, I watch his videos. So call that an endorsement or whatever. But yeah, I had not really any expectation to this about this anymore because a lot of the people who watched this show at the time were like super abrasive about it. I don't know why. They hated the show for a little bit, and then when it finally clicked, it's good now. Actually, it's kind of fucking stupid, but it's whatever. I really like this show because it's a surprising contrast to Hyoka in many ways because there's actual stakes, surprisingly enough, and the mysteries are just some of them are simple, but some of them are genuinely messed up. Like the final episode or two was genuinely crazy. I love Osanai as a character. She is horrifying. She is like my favorite war criminal who did no war crimes ever. She is such a monster of a character, and it's so enjoyable to see her do her thing. Also, her the performance of Hinayomiya is phenomenal, and honestly, for some reason, she's been around the vicinity now because now that I've seen her in Maigo, she's now here as well, and she does a phenomenal job as Osanai, and brings us such a terrifying gentleness to the quality of her voice. It's great. Honestly, I'm gonna give this an A. I got through the like halfway, no, not even halfway part two. I got like 80% of the way in part two and stopped. So I might rewatch that so I can get a better grasp of what I think about it. But I did enjoy what I got there, what I got into there. I didn't add this in the thread because I didn't finish it, and I only added ongoing manga. I don't know why. I don't know why I just explained that now, but whatever. Back to the Future Part 3 is an A. I really like this one. It's great. The Wild West setting is fun, and it's the conclusion to the trilogy, which is always going to be higher than the middle child, which I just realized. But yeah, this third movie is great because it does give Marty some much needed growth, enough of the hot headedness that he always had, the temper. He ended up being, a lot more cool headed here and grew up and matured into a better person. It's great. And I just love the conclusion they gave Doc of, being able to find the love of his life and, travel around the time stream all over the place. It's great. Just, man, why don't we have movies like this anymore? I think it's like such a great trilogy and there's so much fun and whimsy in it. Hollywood doesn't make stuff like this anymore, man. Anyway, let's move on. Next is Orb on the Movements of the Earth. What can I even say? Right? It's just there. Orb on the Movements of the Earth to me is, I don't even like calling it by that name. Cheat. I'll just call it Cheat. Cheat is my favorite anime ever, I think, at this point. I don't know. It's hard to say. I haven't rewatched my very favorite yet in years. But Orb has become the new favorite now. Orb, I'm gonna keep calling it Orb. Orb is such a great story. It also feels like the most important anime to come out in the last 5 years, in the last half decade, basically. It's the most important anime in the decade, at least to me. Its message is such a powerful one of learning to like knowledge is this powerful thing that you cannot ignore, and it asks such a simple question to you of if history calls for your name, will you answer it? It's such a simple question, but there's so many answers to it, and we get to see that answer time and time again in all the characters that we meet. It starts with Rafal, who immediately sees the truth and immediately wants to share it to everyone. His ambition to share this truth is so strong that it ends up carrying that fire ends up still like smolder. Well, not smoldering. That fire keeps going 10 years later and eventually finds Oxy, my favorite character in the entire show, and it just goes beyond there. I love the story. It's so compelling. It's not realistic whatsoever because heliocentrism wasn't that big. Apparently, from what I could research, it wasn't really that big of a like discovery for people. It wasn't something that the church would like vehemently oppose. But obviously, they didn't have a reason there that it was only a specific part of Finland. Was it Finland? Yeah, like a specific part of Finland that the church, the leader of the church there hated heliocentrism, and that's the reason why all of the stuff is happening. I genuinely love this show. It's so good. I am going to make a video about it. I swear to God. I just have to rewatch it again. But there is literally nothing quite like this, and it is such a beautiful lesson that people really need to listen to in this day and age. The idea of sharing your ideas, ideologies, and being able to, share them without wanting to kill each other. Just being able to criticize and share these ideas and feelings without having judgment and immediate, cutthroat and all that is just beautiful. Great. Next is Tsukimichi Fantasy, Moonlit Fantasy. I don't vibe with this. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I intended to watch the second season after, but my God, I couldn't. Just couldn't. I don't know. Isekai is great. I love Isekai. My favorite light novel ever in the world is an Isekai, but it barely feels like one. But yeah, I don't. I don't like. I don't. I just don't. I didn't enjoy. I enjoyed it, but it's not something I would go like. I'm gonna continue it. No, it's just whatever. It's fine. The characters were fun, but that's literally it. Nothing about this makes me wanna continue it, which is really sad. Anyway, continue. Next is K-pop Demon Hunters. First of all, I liked this before it got big. I was there before it got big, so I'm just gonna say I don't. As much as I do not like it now, like I'm not sick of it per se. I don't mind it, but having to watch it all over. I've watched it at least 7 times because some people watch it near my vicinity, and I have no choice. I'm giving it an S because it is one of the best Western animated films to come out in the past few years. That's original. It's just all the way through great. I feel like it was missing a few stuff, but even then, it felt like the story was everything that the people working on it wanted to tell. And the songs are awesome. Why wouldn't they be? They're iconic. This is basically just the second Frozen, and it feels weird liking it. Because liking popular things is bad. But I'm kidding. But yeah, I like it still, despite all of it. But yeah, next is what's next? What's the name of this again? Let me check. Watariku no blank ga Hokai Senzen. This one is B or a C. I'm gonna give it a C. It's a rom-com drama about I think the best way to describe this manga is growing pains, because it is very much just that the young adult experience, the difficulties that they face. That includes the physical stuff too. It's interesting for what it was trying to do, but I've seen enough romance. I've read enough rom-com and romance to know what I like. So I didn't vibe with this as much as I wanted to. It was fine. I enjoyed it, but it's not something I would go thinking back on. It's just whatever. I don't. It's fine. I think it's fine. The characters are cute, but that's it. It's fine. The next is This Witch of Mine. This is a manhwa, and I'm gonna give it an A. I really like this one. I like the way they cover, or not really cover, but approach love in the context of immortal beings like witches, and how they don't really see love the same way, or how like all witches need love because they're immortal and stuff, and they have nothing better to do. It's interesting. They have a lot of interesting stuff here. It's fantasy, and I love fantasy. If you couldn't tell, a lot of you couldn't tell in the entries here, but I am a avid fan of the genre, the fantasy genre, and I am completely obsessed with it. And this one was just another one of those. Well, not really, but close. And I really enjoyed my time with it. It has multiple like story arcs that you follow, and they all follow like a thread. It's great. I recommend it if you can find a way to read it, because it's such a fun read, and it's genuinely compelling because it's overcoming a lot of pain and understand trying to understand each other kind of thing. You know, it's compelling. It's great. Next, Singray. Uma Musume Singray is only A rank to me. I know that this seems kind of controversial, but I would like to reason out that I didn't really vibe with the first season as much as I wanted to. First, because I got so used to the underdog story of Uma Musume that this seeing Oguri Cap just completely steamroll her competition constantly until the final part kind of didn't really vibe with me in a way. I mean, technically she didn't get to race against was it Japan Cup? Well, with against like I forgot, but it was against Chiyo no O, Yai no Mutake and all that. But like, I didn't really vibe with it. I'm sorry, but like, I still like it. It's still a really strong entry to the Uma Musume universe, and it is the most accessible part. As much as I don't like it, I still think that people should go through the entirety of Uma Musume so you can fully understand why it's so beloved, and because Singray is just another facet of what makes Uma Musume compelling. You don't get to see the rest of it. If you don't look at the rest of it, then you're not gonna see the full picture. At least to me, that sounds super elitist, but that's just who I am. I've seen all actually straight up, except for the second part of Singray. I've seen every entry, except for the side stuff as well that are like a few minutes on, like the Umayon stuff. I haven't seen, but I've seen just about everything, and I think it's good. It's great. And I'm very much looking forward to the future of this anime, knowing what happens in the manga, because all of my complaints are completely out of the water there, because they actually do what I want, and showing the underdog story that I genuinely fell in love with. The reason why I fell in love with the series in the first place. So yeah, A rank. Watch the show. Watch Uma Musume. It's big now because of the game. Next, Air Gear. Air Gear, I'm giving you, I don't know what to give this one actually. This one is difficult. Do I give it an A? Huh. I'll give it a tentative A. I might give it an S. Air Gear is one of the coolest manga I've ever read this year. It's such a stylish manga. I feel like people call, I haven't read it, Gachi Yakuta stylish as hell. Which makes sense because the background of that artist and the people that they're working with, but like Air Gear feels like the progenitor of that, like the very first one who did that, because this manga has so much fucking style. It's so cool, the graffiti thing. It feels super. There's a name for that genre. Let me look it up. There's a name for this genre. I have to look it up. There's a name for the genre where it includes bomb dust cyberpunk and the other game, I forgot the name. Genre for because it's a style, right? What is the name of the aesthetic? Because there's a name for the aesthetic. Give me a minute. This is gonna take long. Where is it? Jet Set Radio. Oh yeah, that's the name of the other one. What is the name of the aesthetic? It's such a cool aesthetic, and it's basic. Air Gear is definitely one of them. What is it called? Cyber Grind, I think is the name. Is it called Cyber Grind? Let me check. No, it's not. Wilds. I mean, it's hard, but basically the aesthetic that this has is very similar to a lot of. In fact, the person who did make the Jet Set Radio soundtrack did make the anime soundtrack for Air Gear, which you should know what vibe that is already. Air Gear is awesome. It's horny as fuck. It has awesome action, and it literally centers about skating. What else could you ask for? It's so fucking cool. I'm giving it an S, actually. It's such a wacky ass concept that they fully commit on, and it escalates in the most JRPG way possible, where you fight God, kind of, not really, but close. It's great. There's like a really standout arc where they fight the past version of the group they're in, that they named themselves, and it was one of the coolest things ever. There's so many cool power ups. The regalias are such a cool idea, and Air Gear itself as a technology is interesting, and how they have a message there of not allowing it to stay in corporations' hands and giving it to everyone as an open source kind of technology. There's a message there as well, which is odd, because like beyond all the horny and the action, there's an actual message that they're trying to say, and it's hilarious. Anyway, read this manga. It's not for the faint of heart. If you can't handle insane fan service, then don't read it. But if you can, and if you're into that, read this manga. It's so fun. Next is what is next? Superman 2020. Is it 2025? 2024? I don't remember. 2025. I really like Superman. I'm giving it an A. I prefer it over Dune. Suyosu Girlfriend. I'm still first. Anyway, Superman. I have a past with superheroes. I was a big Marvel fan back then. I mean, I still kind of am. Not really. I only look at it from afar now because, my God, they kind of fell off for the past few years. I feel like maybe they're locking in now. Hopefully they do. But yeah, Superman, I've loved Superman since I was a kid. I don't know much of his story, just the basic stuff. But I do believe that I still remember that my image of Superman did sour because of Man of Steel. Snyder was kind of weird, made him a little too stoic and too cool, because to me Superman wasn't really like that. And Gunn was able to, reignite my love for the superhero genre. I'm not gonna lie, especially for the western part of that of creating there. I just really appreciate what Gunn tried to do with this Superman, and I'm very much looking forward to his extended universe now. A lot of people seem to hate him, which is weird because he is just a phenomenal director. He understands, he gets it, and I'd rather have somebody who gets it than somebody who doesn't. So I really like Superman. I'm giving it an A. Bad Guys 2. This is an S, unironically. Okay, let me explain. Bad Guys 2 is basically just DreamWorks magic all over again. They make amazing sequels, and Bad Guys 2 is one of them. This just feels like more of what we wanted out of the first movie, and just more. It's just so fun. There's so much great character stuff here. The relationship between Wolf and the Fox was fun. Just getting to see them, like the weird romantic tension between them. The new characters, the bad girls, I forgot, but the bad girls were also a fun group of characters to follow. The villain was also genuinely evil, which is great. We love characters like that. It's just the escalation of the heists, the set pieces. They go to space, god damn it. They go to space. It's the coolest damn thing ever. And they're gonna go even further into space in the third movie, which they hopefully make. I cannot wait for that third movie if it comes out. And also, please watch Bad Guys. It's a great show, and it's a great movie. And the second movie is also just as good. So please, just go. Next is Tying the Knot with an Amagami Sister. This one is here for a different reason than you would expect. Okay, let me try to explain. Amagami Sisters, the author, was an assistant to Negi Sensei, who is the author of Loser Ranger Reject, or Go Loser Ranger, or what he's most well known for, Quintessential Quintuplets. I was there when quintessential quintuplets was coming out. Quint. I'm gonna call it Quint, so I don't mumble. I don't stumble around my words. Quint is a very close near and dear manga to me, as it was one of the very few ones that I actually got to read alongside Annie Twitter, the good Annie Twitter back then. Not the one that's insufferable now, but the Annie Twitter from back then. I really enjoyed my time with it, as much as the ending was had a lot of people split. This guy went and took that man's formula and refined it to perfection. I'm not gonna lie. I never knew that I could find another romance that had the same vibe as Quince again, but Amagami Sisters did it. And I find that genuinely impressive. I am so happy that this exists. I am so happy that I'm here to read it. I don't know why. I was just so happy that a manga like this exists to be able to enjoy, and I intend to reread it again at some point because it is so addicting. I don't know why. I have a specific thing for rom-coms. It's been a thing since forever. I've read hundreds of them at this point. But my God, Amagami Sister stands out because it actually did what I wish Quince did with their ending. Well, not even just ending. It just feels like it refined the formula in a way that made it more enjoyable. The arcs are so good. They have so many strong character moments. You fall in love with every character, as always. It's great. Please read Amagami Sisters if you want, if you can. You won't regret it. Also, if I sound sick, I'm sorry, because I am. Anyway, next is the Ish video that came out this year. I'm giving this an S. I know it's weird to put this in the stuff I completed. This feels like the first time I've ever seen a video that feels like it deserved it to be here. This is the greatest YouTube video in the past year. In fact, in the past few years, for that matter. Not because it's Minecraft and all that. It's because it feels like it's a movie that you can only have in YouTube. This feels like it takes advantage of its medium, its style. It's a YouTube video without a doubt, but it has all the makings of a cinematic masterpiece. And I'm looking forward to the Purge experiment that's coming to come out maybe this year, hopefully. Please, Ish, make it happen. And I hope I can join one of these events at some point because it seems really fun. Again, I know people have watched this. I hope you have because my God, it's such a good video. Support Ish in his pursuit and making videos as good as this. So please, it's such a good video. My God. Next, A Galaxy Next Door. I'm giving this a C, I think, or a B. Yeah, I'm gonna give this. Yeah, right there. A Galaxy Next Door is another romance manga. Yay. This one's fine. It's interesting in the sense of there's an interesting approach here with the connection between the two characters that we follow. There's this weird psychic connection that they form because the girl is sort of an alien, kind of, not really, but they have this weird connection that they form a pact with, and it's oh, these feelings I have, are they real or not? Because is it just the psychic connection we have, or is it genuine affection? And it's fascinating. That is one of my favorite parts about the manga because they really do approach that with a sense of with a genuine sense. I don't know how to explain it, but it's so good. And there's the scene where they finally cut off the connection and they look at each other and they just go do you still love me? It's such a powerful moment, and it really stuck with me. I remember this. It was such a great manga. It's still not gonna go to my favorites, but it is something that I would fondly look back on every now and then. Next is Silk Song. Silk Song, Silk Song, Silk Song, Silk Song. I haven't waited for Silk Song as long as any of the other diehard fans have. I finished Hollow Knight back 2 years ago. The first one, 112%. I didn't do the Pantheons, but I did finish the entire thing. And I loved it. it is my favorite Metroidvania period, and that has been replaced now with Silksong. Silksong is controversial for many reasons because apparently it's really too difficult, which I disagree. I think it's just right. I love the difficulty of this game. In fact, I don't think I would like it as much if it wasn't that difficult. Team Cherry was so uncompromising of their vision, and I really appreciate that. You could tell that from the way they made the world, from the way Hornet plays, and from how difficult the damn game is. Yeah, I hate the Savage Beast Fly. Yeah, I hate some of the enemies, but even then, I could not stop playing the game. I straight up the entirety of my this September was taken by this game. And the thing is, also had like a thesis happening in the background there too. I literally dropped all of that to finish this game because I could not help myself. It was such a good game. The early game is hell, but that's literally the point. So I couldn't hate the game for literally giving me that kind of difficult challenge because that was the point. I just love how difficult it was, the characters. Hornet is such a phenomenal protagonist, and I did not expect to fall in love with this with a protagonist that actually speaks because she has so much character, and the growth that she has throughout the two games that we see her in is one of the most compelling things that I've ever seen in gaming, period. I am so happy that I get to live in a timeline where Silk Song finally exists, and I cannot wait for that damn DLC. I don't know if I'm gonna play it immediately because I'm already done. I already 100% of the game, which means I don't know how they're gonna do Act 3 content there. Maybe I have to go through it again. I'm not really sure. I look forward to it though. I am so happy that this game exists, and I'm so happy it exists in this way. I do not want it to be easier. I do not want it to be hard. I mean, it's gonna be harder in the next DLCs, but man, what a beautiful game! Please play Hollow Knight and Silk Song. Like you're missing out. Okay, next is Ban by Giguk. Okay, I have been in a film production myself. Okay, so I'm looking at this in the sense of I've been there before. Kind of, not really. I didn't create it myself, but I was in a production. But yeah, this takes a lot of work. Okay, I know people only see the final product, so we don't see the amount of work, the blood, sweat, and tears that's been put behind it. I am so proud of what Gigak has done, and I hope that this sets a precedent for the future of this industry and this space. I hope that Bond isn't gonna be the only case that this happens. I hope that it happens again at some point with a different creator. The problem is, publicity, reputation, fame is like the only way to gauge, and only the biggest creators are gonna be able to create stuff. But I hopefully, in the future, that we find a way that it's just I'm so happy that this exists. It's not perfect. It can't. It literally can't. It's a 20 minutes short. It was never gonna be a grand story. And what Gekko tried to do was still very commendable, and I'm really happy that he went and continued. I'm just happy that this exists, okay? I'm giving it an A. For effort, and also just like, I mean, I don't know, B or A, it doesn't really matter. I'm just really happy it exists, okay? Next is Ruri Rocks, or Ruri no Hoseki. S. I watched this anime after a long time of not having. I mean, you could tell I haven't really watched much anime this year, whatsoever. So there's that. I was Studio Bind is a phenomenal studio which everything they touch just turns into gold. They're just so good at their job at making things pretty. And Ruri no Hoseki is one of them as well. I love me stories where it's just the author sharing their special interests in a way that's like digestible, and I got to fall in love with rocks the same way that these characters did. I mean that's always the point of the story, right? So you can gain an appreciation of a field that you don't know about, and I'm really just happy just how much passion there is in this, how much polish. I mean, obviously it's Studio Bind, like It's so effortlessly fan servicey too. It's kind of funny. There's barely any actual fan service in this anime. Not even barely, none at all. But even then, I don't know how they did it, but they made the characters hot. So like, that's just Studio Bind being Studio Bind. But yeah, I'm just happy that I got to watch this, and it was a really great pick me up at the time, especially during the time that I did watch it. So next is an interesting one. This one is how do I even Fairy Tale. Fairy Tale. I don't know if I can consider it life changing or anything, but at the same time, I really could. I'm giving it the top of S for now. But Fairy Tale is something that I've been meaning to get into for a while because my friend keeps telling me, Gray, I don't know if you're watching this, but here you go. But yeah, Fairy Tale is interesting because I've seen so much hate about this damn story ever since I got into the space because the space just straight up. There's so much hate for this one, so I didn't really have any expectations for it. But I ended up falling in love with the story because like yeah, it has problems. The friendship, the power of friendship thing is a long thing. It's a shonen thing first of all, so people hating it for that just felt stupid. And if they hate the stuff that there's barely any stakes because nobody dies, I can understand that. But knowing who the author is, Hiro Mashima Sensei, he loves happy endings, and I love happy endings too. Like I vibe with him in a way I did not expect, and I genuinely love his work here. I'm so I don't know. It just feels like Fairy Tail didn't get the recognition that it kind of deserves because this story kept up during a time where giants existed. Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, Dragon Ball. Well, not really. Was Dragon Ball coming out at the time? I don't. But not. But basically, just like the big three that people know were ongoing and were at their tippy top popularity at the time. Okay, and Fairy Tail was always behind, and that's not something that you could. I think that people don't recognize that enough. Hiromashima Sensei is insane. He debuts with a manga and it became one of the biggest things ever in that magazine, and then he came out again with another one and it stuck. He is one of the greatest mangakas of our time. I mean that. A lot of people disagree. They can fuck off. But yeah, Fairy Tail is great. I have never felt the sense of family I have felt with this family of misfits before. I love Natsu, I love Lucy, I love Gray, I love all of them so much. And I'm also going through Wonder Year's Quest, and it's gonna end soon, and that's been really great too. Yeah, there's some problems, but I I don't know. It's biased. I don't care. I don't care about objectivity at all. I fucking love this manga. Okay, okay. Just Fairy Tail is great. It has so many strong moments of like familial bonds, just connection. It's the most shonen ever. Okay. Love it. My God. Next, Eden Zero. Also, it's fantasy. I forgot. It's fantasy, and I love fantasy, so it adds to that as well. Anyway, next, Eden's Zero. Okay. Eden Zero. Eden Zero is so difficult to describe because when people hate on Fairy Tail, I don't understand. But when people hate on Eden Zero, I can kind of get it. Okay. I understand how controversial Universe Zero is as a arc, as a concept, and as a story beat. The idea of completely throwing away all of the development that you've given most of the characters sucks. And I understand. But let me just give you this. This is a very, very common like sci-fi trope. And as much as I also don't particularly like what they did with Universe Zero, I still like what happened before. This is Hiromashima Sensei at his best, especially early Eden Zero. The first arcs are one of the best things I've ever read, period. It's such a strong story. Like obviously the ending is a little bit iffy, but even then it had some really good stuff. Even in the final arc, it still ends in a really nice place compared to Fairy Tail, which he was kind of a mess by the end. Like a lot of stuff, like Machima Sensei was juggling so many stuff by the end of Fairy Tail that they couldn't really get to the heart of things, and they wasted a lot of potential with a lot of characters that they are sort of coming back with in 100 Years Quest. But still, Eden Zero to me is still really fucking good. As much as people do not like it, I disagree. I like it. I like it. Is it life changing? I'm not sure. I might give it the tippy top of S and give Fairy Tail this because I really did enjoy Fairy Tail. Like, man. Next. Next is You're Under My Skin. I'm pretty sure that's the name. Am I correct? Let me check. Yes, You're Under My Skin. You're Under My Skin is a manhwa again, a romance manhwa. Yay, rom-com. But yeah, this one I enjoyed a lot. It just reminds me of Tsurezure Children. If you haven't read that, it's like a 4-koma manga of multiple romance stories happening in a single setting, like a school. And it's like multiple characters that are connected to each other, having their own love lives happening at the same time. It's very similar to that, but it has the other quality of it feels like it's covering uh You're Under My Skin is feels like it's trying to do multiple genres per pairing. You got the usual you got the usual cutesy rom-com with one of the couples. The main couple feels a lot more like standard. You have the love is war type of dynamic between one of the other characters. It's just all of that. It's great and it's really cute. The main girl is hot as hell. But yeah, yeah. It's such a great story. They do a lot of what Tsude the Children does, but a lot more like I still prefer Tsude the Children because of how they wrap around itself in a way. How they wrap it up is also great. But like yeah, Your Under My Skin was great. It's a good romance story. So there's that. I'm gonna give it a B, a really high B. I'm giving it higher than Wicked actually. Next is the biggest sleeper of the year for me, Magilumiere Incorporated. Okay, a lot of people probably don't know this, so let me just give you like an elevator pitch. Imagine, you know, My Hero Academia, right? Where heroes are like intertwined with society, like the idea of a superhero is. Now imagine that, but with magical girls. That's basically it. Magical girls have become this industry where they help around they help around the city, exterminating these weird like dark creatures that are from made from like pollution or whatever like that, something like that. And it's really cool. It takes like place in Tokyo as always. You follow the main character Sakuragi, and she's awesome. She's such a great character. But what really made this manga click for me in a way that I did not expect was just the setting. I don't know how they did it, but like I was so endlessly intrigued with the setting and like you have the superhero thing, right? And like in My Hero Academia, you have the story there, like the history is like, oh, the when quirks came to be vigilantes and all that, and then we got the hero system and all of that. We kind of have the same thing for magical girls, but now you get to see like they get to the part where like, oh, back then shrine maidens were the magical girls, or we get to see multiple flavors of magical girls in this story, and I love that. I mean, I haven't seen many magical girl shows myself, but I know of the genre enough to appreciate what's happening here. They have they have stuff from like they have inspirations all the way from Sailor Moon, the oldest magic. Like I'm not really good with names. They got Precure over here. Like there's so many aspects of multiple magical girl shows. It's a love letter to magical girls basically. Like despite it being in a really modern setting and like the characters being adults straight up because magical girls can't be little girls anymore because it's a job. like you get to see the logical conclusions the world gets to as this industry becomes a thing, and how they have this entire thing with magic. Magic is such an interesting concept in this world. Magic is a code base. It's like it's become a sort of thing that you can code, and like software has magic and all of that, and everybody has their own software and how they use the magic, and it's like technology. Magic is because like so intertwined with technology that it acts like it. And you have the startup company that Sakuragi is in, the main character, and their entire thing is like they have a software that allows you to code magic on the fly. Like imagine if it's Linux. It's basically everybody's using Windows and Apple, and then you have this you have this company who's using Linux. It's such an interesting concept. And I love how despite it being a like super shonen as well, it has a lot of shonen stuff, it ends up still really going for the core of what a magical girl is. Its messages, its theming. It's surprising. I genuinely I love this manga, and I want to reread it. I want to read it again because it has so many good moments. It has so many good story beats that they really nail. The ending, a lot of people might find disappointing, but I really there's one part of the ending that people might go like, oh, that was wasted opportunity. But I think it was perfect. I'm not gonna spoil it because it's such a great twist, and it's such a logical conclusion to where you go like, oh, if magical girls were like this and that. But yeah, I'm giving this life changing, even if it's like, do I prefer it over Fairy Tale? I'm not sure. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. Okay, maybe I do. Yeah. Please read Magie Lumiere. It's complete, so you don't like you have no excuse. Just read it. It's so good. It's one of my favorite things ever. Please. Next, Frankenstein by Guillermo del Toro. Yes, it's an S. Hell, I might give it life changing actually. I haven't seen. I've come to realize after watching this film that I haven't seen many Guillermo del Toro films, and I feel like that should change. Frankenstein is one of the greatest cinematic experiences of this year. Again, that's crazy, but yeah, I am just so happy this exists because it shows that Hollywood still has it, at least to me. And the fact that this is a Netflix production as well. I'm happy that Netflix is allowing Guillermo del Toro to just show us his chops. I'm just so happy. He's such a phenomenal director. And this version of Frankenstein, I haven't read the original, by the way. Even if I haven't, I know of the story and what it was trying to do. And they put a fascinating twist with this one. The theme of fatherhood and like parents and stuff is and family is such an interesting thing that they approached in this one, and they end up making a way more compelling story for me. That ending is genuinely one of the most beautiful moments of cinema I've ever seen. It's just such a great story, and if you haven't watched it, please do because it is like such an experience. It's on Netflix, man. Come on. Next, what is the name of this one? I totally forgot. Where is it? Hanin Mae no Koibito. Okay, Hanin Mae no Koibito is I'm giving it a C. This one is, I mean, it's great. It's about a girl who makes taiko drums and a painter guy. It's like two different fields of artistry clashing together because they find an interest in each other's work and in each other. It's fun, but again, 50 chapters is not that long. In fact, it's a pretty damn good length. But even then, I feel like they could have done way more. I'm just really sad that it ended in the the cliche romance manga move of vague. Yay, the hey live happily ever after in college or something. I don't know. We don't really get to see whatever happens after. I mean, we don't need to, but there are some stories that warrant that, and I feel like this could have had more time in the oven, a lot more planning. But even then, it's just a fine romance manga, I guess. So there's that. Next, Apothecary Diaries. I finally watched it. I'm giving this an S, the first one. Apothecary Diaries to me is probably the very first anime I could actually call a classic. I know that sounds stupid to say. It's like, oh, there's so many good classics like Orb. Yeah, you're right. But there will not be another anime that will be staying in the people's subconscious like Apothecary Diaries. Why? Because it's gonna come out constantly. It's gonna be a constant presence in people's like seasonals in the next years. We're gonna get season 3 next year, this year. I mean, we're getting the first, I think, in fall, and then we're getting, it's a split course, so we're getting the next season in April next year. So it's gonna be a part of our lives for a long time, and we haven't had anime like that in a long time. And I'm really happy that it is Apothecary Diaries because it's the most unconventional popular thing ever. I don't think it's as big as it should be. I feel like it should be more popular, honestly. But yeah, I just love the story. I love Mao Mao's as a character. Aoi Yuki does a phenomenal performance. Is this one of my favorite roles of her now? Yes. Like it's slowly overtaking Hibiki to me, which is crazy because my God, Simple Gear. But yeah, Mao Mao is a phenomenal protagonist. The story is great. The way Mao Mao navigates this world and its politics is fascinating to watch. She's a girl who knows her place, but has so much talent that she shouldn't. And it's so interesting to see her interact with people and slowly, break the wall. Like as they slowly break the walls of her heart, which we get to in season 2, which I'm gonna talk about now. I don't know how to rank this actually. Yeah, I think I'm doing that. Yeah. Apothecary season 2 is one of my favorite anime this year. Again, this feels like we finally, not because of the one thing about Apothecary Diaries that I really like is how it handles its mysteries. It has so many stuff happening and not all of them get resolved immediately. And I really appreciate that because there are just some hanging threads that they can pull on whenever they need. In fact, I'm pretty sure that third season will be pulling on another thread that we didn't get acknowledgement enough in the second season. So like, it's so fascinating to see a lot of the conflict from the first season with Suire come back in the second season in a bigger way, in a bigger plot. I love this. I love the way this story went. I love the development, especially Mao Mao. Mao Mao's character really shines through in this season, because it really goes to show us how much she's changed. A lot of people think that Mao Mao didn't change at all in the past 2 seasons, but I disagree. She has come far from her incredibly closed off, almost hostile and cynical to a fault, the character that she has, because she has surrounded herself with people that genuinely love her. We have from the beginning we have I think her name is Xiaolan, I think. Forgot her name. Xiaolan, the cutest character ever in the world, and Gyokyo sama, or the concubine Gyokyo, who showed her the warmth of a mother from afar. She doesn't have to be, treated as a daughter, but like, how she grew up. She had such a she had such a unique and incredibly heavy upbringing that defined how she looks at the world, but it's starting to change. Like, how she looks at the world is starting to change. How she looks at people are starting to change. She's starting to care for people when she always thought she's selfish. She always thinks she's very selfish, but time and time again, she proves that she is the opposite. She's the fakest I don't give a fucker in the world. I love her. But yeah, it's so interesting to see her grow from this girl who doesn't care about much at all to a girl who genuinely cares about the people around her. It's great. And it wouldn't be possible if not for the people she surrounds herself with. And that includes Jinchi. And Jinchi was a phenomenal character in this as well, because it's him finally showing some responsibility and really carrying the burden that he has to carry for a person that he loves. And that love is finally reaching that person now. It's gonna take a little bit more time, but it's so obvious that Mao Mao is a lot more a lot more how do you say it, a lot more accepting of Jinchi's advances more than she was before, and it's obvious that she probably finds him attractive. I think she doesn't acknowledge it enough. Or she does acknowledge it, but she always think that she doesn't have a chance, in which she always had, because Jinchi is wrapped around her tiny little finger. It's great. I am so excited for the future of this story, and I need to make a video about it at some point. Not even at some point, soon. I hope I can. But yeah. Next. Next is Even If You Slit My Mouth. I'm pretty sure that's the name. Yeah. This one is about the character who is how do I explain this? Um how do you explain this? Like, you know those urban myths with the slit mouth lady? But yeah. Imagine the idea of urban legends becoming real, and how all of that stuff is, it's good. I think this is one of the most phenomenally paced manga period, because they go beat for beat pretty damn well, and getting manga like that is very rare these days. I'm putting this in S now. I'm putting this on the very top of A. But yeah, I think that this one is really good. There's a lot of, the romance part is great. It's adorable. A human who doesn't feel that much fear, who has this, like, whose family did some really bad stuff back then to urban legends, or like just mythical creatures in general. It's interesting. It is. It also has a lot of great character stuff. There's a really cool character here that people would love. Who There's like a lot of twists in the urban legend idea. We have like a Western style Medusa who's a dude. We have like multiple. Like we even have Hashaku-sama. I think is what they Hashaku-sama. I think it's Hashaku something. But like the large lady with the massive hat and the white dress, who hunts little boys and all that, and the way they approach that character is interesting. They just have so many cool ways of world building, and just making use of the concept that they already have, and just really going hard with it. I love it. It's great, and it's awesome, and I recommend it because it's a really short read. It's not really that long at all. So if you have a little bit of time, you can binge it in probably a day, no problem. So please, it's quite great. Next, the final entry of the stuff I completed, at least, is My Hero Academia Illegals Vigilantes. This one is awesome. I love this one. I'm gonna give it an S. Actually, I'm gonna give it an S. I'm putting it around here. Yeah, I think. Okay, I the yeah the final season of My Hero Academia has aired, and with that, the internet is crazy about it, and obviously I am very susceptible to peer pressure. So I went ahead and watched this ones because I really wanted to get into My Hero again finally, because believe it or not, the reason why I got into anime a lot more was because of My Hero Academia. I was there when season 3 was airing, I'm pretty sure, and I was basically there during the Deku versus Bakugo fight, where they fight it out because Bakugo was feeling guilty and all that. But yeah, I was there, and the reason why I'm here, My Hero Academia has a contribution to that. And okay, like, I was carried by the opinions of people back then, hating the shit out of the manga, especially during weekly. Here's my opinion on it. I feel like people who obsess over who are angry because of how we like manga end, especially when they follow it weekly, is because they don't see the big picture. I know that sounds insane. It's because they're stuck on it. They're stuck on the story so much that they theorize about stuff that actually were just a barely mentioned, and they were expecting it to come back because all of that stuff. So I intend to read the entirety of My Hero Academia this year to see what I actually think about it, and see what the fuss is all about. I mean, I know what happens already. I've been spoiled. I've seen a lot of the clips of the final season. I was there when the final chapter came out. So like I've seen all the slander, the bullshit that came out, and now people are turning around because they see the beauty in the story, because they actually get to see the full picture now. So I will be there. Give me a bit. I'll be reading it, and I will be there. But anyway, Vigilantes was a really good spin-off. I was not expecting that. I really like the it's a prequel from what I like from what they've said. And I really like Koichi as a character. He's a fun character to follow. He has this sense of heroism that he can't stop. He's very similar to all the heroes that we know, Deku included, who can't help himself but join the fray. His body cannot will move before he even thinks. That kind of character. And he's fun. And the characters he's surrounded with are also just great. Pop Step is such a fun character to follow. Her affection for Koichi is cute to watch. Knuckle Duster or Oguro is such a fun character to follow, and his the funny twist of what makes this I really love how small scale Vigilantes is so far, because we're just following a single city. We're literally just taking place in a single city, and we're seeing the struggles of these characters and all of that, and it's fun to see conflict just stay in one place and not go into the entire planet is at stake, because I appreciate those conflicts too, but I like seeing my street level superheroes as well. And it's great because we really get a really personal story between the characters, especially for Knuckle Duster. I really love the way he uses "I'm here." Well, even the way they word it, Koichi uses it the same way as All Might, "Watashi ga kita," or but for Knuckle Duster, it feels a lot more personal. It's "I am here," the "Ore ga iru," and it's interesting because they really do come back around that in the end with his daughter, who he says it, "I'm here," and I know from what I can tell that he basically doesn't show up for a long time in the future story, because obviously he has some stuff to do, and we're gonna focus on Koichi more. But still, his presence in this story was great. He added a lot. The other heroes that we didn't get time or getting Aizawa here before he became a teacher full time is fun. Seeing his other friends like President Mike and Miss Midnight is fun as well. I just can't wait for the second season. I'll be there, okay? I really want to read the manga, but I can tell that the anime is going to do a way better job in telling that story, because they're arranging stuff in ways that are a lot more digestible to me. And they're just structuring the story a little better. And from what I can tell, we're getting the backstory of Aizawa, so I'm very much looking forward to that. So, yeah. Please, if you think My Hero Academia is still bad, try out Vigilantes. Maybe it'll allow you to reignite that love for the show again, or the series again. Next, these are the final entries. These are just ongoing manga that I intend to continue in the future or not. Not really sure. I just added them here because I felt like it. Okay? Okay. First is 100 Years Quest. Fairy Tail. I'm only gonna put them in the end because they're not complete, so I'm gonna give this an A. So far, it's been really strong. In fact, there's a lot of stuff here that are already better than anything that, not really anything, but a lot of what happens in the second half of Fairy Tail, and it's just a continuation. And the artist is phenomenal. Whoever is responsible for the redesigns of especially the current arc, Gaji looks so good. My God, Juvia looks so good. All of them look so good. I can't get over it. I'm really looking forward to how this story ends, because it will. It'll probably end this year or next year. Actually, the arc, because it seems like this is the final arc of this manga, and I'm really happy that I get to be there to see this ending. Fairy Tail is great. Okay, I love Fairy Tail. Next, Witch Riv. Witch Riv is one of my favorite authors of all time, Hakuri Sensei. They made One Room of Happiness, which if you haven't read it. I don't care. Just read it. I'm giving this an S. This literally has Nothing yet. It's still building up to something, but I already know it's gonna be good, and I trust in Hakuri Sensei's writing, her style, his or her, their style, their 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 sensibilities in writing these characters. I know they're gonna make something phenomenal. I will be there no matter what. Like, actually, my God, I love this manga. Next, now that we draw, this is gonna get an anime, and this is also getting an S. This is one of the cutest rom-coms I've ever read. It's very much reminiscent to Bokuyaba, but without the very difficult friction that we have with Ichikawa being a little bit of a weirdo, because he was, but he grew up from it. That's what makes it really good. But now that we draw is very similar to that vibe. I love the art. It's horny as hell. I love the story. It's adorable as fuck. My God, the two main characters are such a beautiful couple. I hope they get together. The way they push themselves, the way their love for each other influences their work. It's all of that. All of that is there, and it's so cute. I cannot wait for more. That anime will go so hard. No, the world is not ready for it. Okay, the world is not ready for it. Next, Marriage Toxin. Another S. That's crazy. I know. Okay, I know. Okay, shut up. Okay. Marriage Toxin is so good. I enjoyed reading this so much. I had a lot of. I mean, I didn't hear much about Marriage Toxin. Okay, I know the anime is gonna come out very soon this year, but I had a feeling I should read it now, and I really love it. I was not expecting this concept to take off and be really compelling, but it is. I really love the way they went about the, how do you explain this, um the romance, I guess, because it's clear, like, the main character is kind of a disaster. He doesn't understand, but he also is very earnest about what he feels, and his friend, his partner in crime, girl, boy, girl, doesn't really matter, he's a boy, is such a fun character to be with. And again, it's surprisingly progressive for what it's trying to do, and it's like not even trying to be like rubbing your face in it. It's just, it is, and I appreciate that, because we don't have enough of those. I'm really looking forward to how this story goes. Ends, it's gonna be a while, but yeah, I hope these two get together, because my goodness, they deserve each other so much, and they love each other already. Anyway, next is, can gals can't be kind to otaku. Okay, this is getting an anime. It got an anime announcement literally right as I was reading it. This is the only romance manga with a love triangle that I think would actually work out. Like, they're gonna end up as a polycule. And that's it. I am looking forward to how this story goes, because I fully, truly believe that this is going to end in a polycule. Let it be the first rom-com to do it. I dare them. Because seriously, I don't see another ending for these three, because they love each other so much in that way. So them them being a polycule makes complete sense. It's so funny. I don't know how that works, but it does. Next, what's the full name of this one again? Gakuen Idol Master Gold Rush. This is about Kotone. This was recommended to me by Gray again, and this is phenomenal as well. I don't know much about Gakuen Idol Master. Oh, the only fact I know is that it's one of the biggest entries they've ever had in past years. It's getting really big. I hope it gets an anime, a 2D anime, in fact, because it seems like the future for IMAX anime is 3D. I hope it's not the case, because I feel that Gakuen IMAX fully deserves the 2D treatment. But yeah, Gold Rush is such a fun story. I don't know if I'm gonna continue it right away. I think I'm gonna wait for more chapters to come out. But everything I've seen so far has just been really strong. It's a great idol story as well. Kotone is such a fun character to follow. She's super crass and super super jaded, but it's what makes her really fun, because She is such a fun protagonist to follow because she's not your typical Genki girl. She's very much like, I want to be the best, but I also want money, a lot of money. But I also want to be the best. It's great. I'm very much looking forward to the future of this manga and the future of Gakuen Idolmaster in general. I hope they get the anime, like 2D anime, man, please. Next, Monochrome Days. This one came out like I don't forgot when. That's another S. Again, I'm sorry. I only read peak, okay? Another S. I get it. A little insane, but I can't help myself. Monochrome Days is about drawing manga, and it's one of the most compelling versions of this story ever. It's such a it's like very battle shonen in the way it paces stuff. It's really funny, but yeah, I really love the story and of not letting go of your dreams, being able to pursue them despite your letting go of it before, but still have a chance. It's never too late. It's very similar to Medalist in that sense of like the dream you think is no longer in your no longer close to your grasp is still there. So just try and grab it and keep pursuing. It's great. They're currently in a publication arc, which is gonna be really fun to go through. But yeah, so far so good. Also the manga, I forgot her name. Ibarra is her name maybe. She's really hot and I like her. That's it. Next, this one is a little controversial. Koi bimo to let me read it right. Koi bumi no Koi bumi to 13 sai. I don't know how to count that. 13 sai no actress. This is absolute cinema. I'm giving it an A or an S, one of the two. I'm giving it an A for now. Okay. This is an age gap romance. I have a thing for this. I really enjoy age gap romances, okay? It's fiction. Calm the fuck down. If you're freaking out about that, get the fuck off this video right now. Come on. It's just a fiction. It's just fiction, bro. Chill out. But yeah, I am fascinated with this story because the main character is not particularly, I don't know how to explain it, but like these two characters, the pairing that they're trying to go for, they have problems, okay? They have their own individual problems they have to work through. And if they don't work through it, they're not going to be able to, overcome all the challenges of trying to make it work. Because a lot of people support, well, not really a lot, but one of them at least supports this relationship, kind of, not really. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to where this story goes. I'm fascinated by it. I find the little girl, I find the main girl adorable. She's great. She's fun to watch as she tries to make the guy fall in love. Failed miserably because the guy still thinks of this as professional and all that. There's a lot of complicated things happening, and they're gonna have to go through a lot of hurdles to see if it can work. So you know what? I'll be there. I don't care. I love me my age gap romance. So keep him coming. Next, The Barbarian's Bride. This one came out of nowhere. I literally read this like a few weeks back. I just started reading it, and I think I'm giving it an A. Yeah, I'm giving it an A. This one's just great. It's just another fantasy manga. It's about the kingdom of the West has come to the east to take for an expedition to increase their borders. The barbarians stopped them and kidnapped the princess, who's also a knight. And then the knight is like, oh no, I'm gonna be ravaged. Oh, I've been kidnapped. They're gonna turn me into a thing. And then, no, the guy was just gonna marry him. I marry her. It's a really silly start, but the world building is so far has been really interesting. I'm fascinated with how they're gonna go about the conflicts between the East and the West. The world itself is interesting. The idea of the stream of souls and all that. That everything has a soul, has a will of their own, and the way magic is being harnessed is taking the will of other things and using it as power. And if a thing loses its will, it stagnates and turns into fiends like demons and creatures. It's so cool. It has such a cool concept. There's also dragons, and dragons have strong wills of their own. Wills are kind of like souls, your soul. Everything has a soul, and like your soul, you can project your soul into your armor and your weapon, and they become stronger than it is. Dragons use their soul in order to make themselves fly and all that. It's like, man, so cool. There's so much world building here that I did not expect to have in a really silly manga. It's also horny as hell. Again, most of these are horny, but whatever. But yeah, that's all. Wow, that's all of the tier list. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, this is all I got into in 2025. There are some few stuff that I left out because I either forgot them or just didn't was lazy. Okay, but yeah, if you have any recommendations for this year, let me know. I will probably take a look at them because I don't have many plans this year other than the stuff I'm already gonna try and get into since last year, like games, a lot of games. But yeah, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think of my list. I guess if you think it's shit, if you think it's good, what do you think of the stuff that I put in here? Like I want to know what you think about the manga, the TV show, the anime, the movies, the games. Like let me know what you think because I am really interested in what you think in the comments. Okay, so yeah, that's it.